Hi, this video we're going to be going over how to create your first document inside of DocuMerge. So in this example, we're going to create a simple invoice template using Microsoft Word. Normally when you come here, you'd go into Documents, plus click the Add Document, give your document a name, then you can upload a Word or Excel or fillable PDF document as your starting template. Or you can build it from scratch using our HTML editor or code editor. In this case, I already started creating an invoice document, so we're just going to open that up. You'd be taken to the settings page where you can customize the settings of this document. Start by giving it a name, selecting what output you'd like it to come out as. So this is the actual document that will get generated as a result of this. When a request is initiated to generate this document. The file name, this is where you can actually merge in information that's sent over from this document. You can choose to hide the document name or keep it part of it as the file name that gets generated here. You can select the time zone, which is used when generating the document to determine when calculating the date time for any date time fields. The folder is just to help you organize the document, and then the status of active or in test mode or inactive. If it's in test mode, all documents generated from it will have a watermark, a DocuMerge watermark on it. And it will count towards your test merges, not your live merges. In the advanced settings, you can see here, you can use an auto number, which allows you to inject an auto number or an incrementing up number. You can choose to save this data and download it for later. You can specify how long this data will be held for. The max amount of time is 30 days. That document will allow you to retain the data. But if you need to get rid of sensitive data sooner than that, you can shorten this down to like a minimum of an hour long after it's received by DocuMerge. You can also restrict merges to specific IP addresses. This means only like your specific servers could be sending to generate these documents. You can add a watermark of your own choosing to the document. You can password protect the file, and you can restrict PDF permissions as well if you want. So those are the advanced settings. Let's go over to the manage file. This is where you can actually upload a new version of your file or download it. You can also see the version history here and download or revert to a previous history version. I'm going to actually open up the document that we set up here. So I actually found just an online document for an invoice that I liked. I took that and then switched out some of the content with the merge codes here that will actually inject very specific information. Like for example, here, the invoice number will get merged in up at the top, the invoice date, customer information, and then we actually are doing a loop right here. So a for each loop that is actually looping through a list of the products that are on the invoice and merging those in. And we actually are using for things like the price, a currency formatter helper to help make that look nice and have the dollar sign and displayed properly there. So anyways, this is my template I have uploaded here. The overview tab, this is just to give us an overview of what's going on with this document. The field map is more of an advanced setting where you can basically can pass along information from that's coming from the request and adjust it or run a script on a specific field to like clean up that data or run some logical checks to determine what kind of data you want to pass to that specific field. Also, you can add new fields if needed. Then the test, you can enter in information and test out the document, make sure it's working as you expect. The delivery tab is where you can actually define where, after this document gets generated, where you want to have it delivered to. So you can send an email to yourself or someone else, send a webhook if you need passed back to your custom system or some other system, SFTP, or a number of pre-built integrations that we have with different providers like Google Drive, Box, Salesforce, etc. And then on the merge tab, this is where you actually can select to, or you can get the URL where you can initiate the merge for this document. And how you would do that is actually sending an HTTP post to this merge URL or the test URL if you want to trigger a test with a watermark. So let's actually give that a shot. Let's do the test URL. I'm going to use a tool called Postman for this. This is just to help simulate sending information. Now, this could be coming in from your like custom system, or it could be coming in from something your developer set up, or it could be coming in from like something like Zapier or something like that, where you could be posting very specific data. And once again, this is important to note, these parameters here correlate to the fields that I have set up, the merge fields I have set up on the document right here. So like invoice number right there correlates to this parameter right here and should merge in this value. So let's send this post. And then if we come back over into the overview tab and refresh, we'll see that that post was received right then. And we actually can download and see the result of that. There we go. And this one's actually a test document. So that makes sense. I'm seeing the DocuMerge watermark behind it. Now, if I was to take off the test and maybe let's switch out some of the data in here. So let's make this go 1. We'll remove that. Let's change this to John Doe and we'll send it again. Now, if we come back and we'll go refresh, we'll download this newest one. We can see John Doe, and we don't see any of the watermarks now. And we can also see that this invoice number changed. So anyways, that's a basic example of how you can create a document using, or a document inside of DocuMerge to generate your documents in an automated fashion. Hopefully this makes sense. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. Thank you. Bye.